Hello heroes, Joe Smith here again. Just kind of watching this live Biden press conference address, whatever, from Gettysburg. I guess it's Biden Gettysburg address. Well, let's hear kind of some of the stuff he has to say here.
As president, that's just what I will do. I will send a clear, unequivocal message to the entire nation. There is no place for hate in America.
Totally agree. So, let's end all these hate riots from the left that's been going on for the past few months.
It will be given no license. It will be given no oxygen. It will be given no safe harbor. In recent weeks and months, the country has been riled by instances of excessive police force.
Excessive police force. Can you point out an instance? One instance, Biden. Let's see one instance of excessive police force.
Heart-wrenching cases of racial injustice and lives needlessly and senselessly lost. By peaceful protesters giving voice to the calls for justice.
You're talking about lives needlessly lost. Yeah, they're needlessly lost because they pointed a gun or shot at the police. Yeah, they're needlessly lost. Their parents should have taught them not to shoot at the police or to cooperate with the police, like George Floyd. Yeah, his life was needlessly lost. He did not need to put a gun to that pregnant black woman's stomach and threaten to kill her and her unborn child. He did not need to be passing counterfeit bills. He did not need to be shoving fentanyl up his ass. He did not need to be high on drugs. His life was needlessly lost because he did a lot of stuff he did not need to do. But that was his choice. Okay? We're not his fucking mommy. If he wants to kill himself, let him fucking kill himself. He didn't need to jump out of the back of the police car after he was in the back of the police car. He did so under his own choice and his own free will. Like Rayshard Brooks, was it? They're the Wendy's or whatever it was there in Atlanta, Georgia. He did not need to be driving drunk. He did not need to be passed out drunk in the drive-thru. He did not need to attack and beat up two police officers. He did not need to steal their taser. He did not need to shoot their taser at them. He did not need to run from the police. But because he did all that stuff that he did not need to do, he died. So he didn't need to die, but he did a ton of other stuff that he did not fucking need to do, so he fucking died. So deal with it. Just like George Floyd. Just like these other people that... Just like that... what's his name? Rochester, was it? Running around naked, high on PCP in the middle of the night. He did not need to be high on PCP. He did not need to be running around naked in the middle of the night. But because he did, he ended up overdosing and dying. He did not need to do, but he did other stuff he did not need to do. He didn't need to die, but he did other stuff he didn't need to do, like being high on PCP, and that led to the death. Whether the cops were there or not, he's still going to die. He overdosed. Cops had nothing to do with it.
By examples of violence and looting and burning that cannot be tolerated. I believe in law and order. I've never supported defunding the police, but I also believe injustice is real.
If you believe in law and order, then not come in the debates. You didn't say so. You refuse to say so, then. Had a change of heart in the past few days. You also believe in it now? What, your poll numbers are down or something? all your supporters are getting arrested and going to jail, so now you have to appeal to the people that aren't criminals.
It's a product of a history that goes back 400 years, the moment when black men, women, and children first were brought here in chains. I do not believe we have to choose between law and order and racial justice in America. We can't have both. This is a nation strong enough to both honestly face systemic racism and strong enough to provide safe streets for our families and small businesses that too often bear the brunt of this looting and burning.
I agree, there is systemic racism. You get special treatment if you're black. That's racist. Okay? If you're black, then the government has special programs for you. If you're a black-owned business, you get special funding from the government. That's racist. So yeah, there's systemic racism against white people, against people that aren't black. Okay? Affirmative action. That's racist. People getting into college just because they're black when people with higher test scores and have better grades that are more deserving don't. Just because of their skin color. Because there's quotas to meet. Yeah, that's systemic racism, you fucker.
We have no need for armed militias roaming America's streets. We should have no tolerance for extreme...
Armed militia. Well, you know, maybe if the police would do something, or, well, why aren't the police doing? Sheriff Grady Judge in Florida is doing something. There are police in Colorado and Florida and elsewhere doing stuff. There's no riots or lootings or broken windows here, as you saw in Joe Smith's Trump's America video several weeks ago. But, oh yeah, that's right. Trump sent the federal police to help the city police to, what, Portland or Seattle? And the local Democrats ran them off. Well, guess what? People are tired of their houses being burnt down. Taxpayers are tired of their houses being burnt down that they pay property taxes on. Okay, business owners that pay payroll taxes and commercial property tax and other taxes and corporated or LLC fees and franchise fees and to the government, they're tired of losing their millions of dollars, their life savings that they spent so they could have a job. They're tired of their employees having laid off their employees because their store got burnt down or robbed again that same day. Because you Democrats run all the police off. And the people that the police do arrest, Michael Bloomberg writes a bail check to bail them out so that way they can vote for you, Biden. So yeah, there is no need for armed militia defending their homes and their businesses. That's what the police is supposed to do. That's what the military is supposed to do. That's what the mayor and the governor is supposed to do. But in Democrat cities and Democrat states, they aren't. And people are tired of being a victim. People are tired of you Democrats treating them like they're a nigger.
White supremacy groups menacing our communities. If you say we should trust America's law enforcement authorities to do the job, as I do, then let them do their job without extremist groups acting as vigilantes. You say we have no need to face racial injustice in the country. You haven't opened your eyes to the truth in America. There have been powerful voices for justice in recent weeks and months. George Floyd's 6-year-old daughter, who I met with, who looked at me and said in her small child's voice, "Daddy changed the world."
Yeah, you know, some other woman almost didn't have her 6-year-old daughter because George Floyd almost murdered her unborn baby and almost murdered her. So I guess George Floyd's lucky that he got to have a daughter. How about all these sons and daughters, especially black sons and daughters, have been murdered in Chicago and elsewhere this summer? Too bad those people don't get to have daughters or sons anymore.
Also, Jacob Blake's mother was another when she said, "Violence didn't reflect her son, and this nation needed healing." And Doc Rivers.
The nation needs people that the police are trying to arrest or detain to quit running to their vehicles or running for weapons or pulling weapons or reaching for stuff when they're told not to reach.
The basketball coach choking back tears when he said, "We're the ones getting killed. We're the ones getting shot. We've been hung. It's amazing why we keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back." I think about that. I think about what it takes for...
Yeah, think about that. Think about that. All that love from the black community for David Dorn or Thomas Jefferson Byrd. Was that it? Thomas Jefferson Byrd, that actor from the Spike Lee films that was just murdered, shot in the back. Yeah, where's the justice for David Dorn and Mr. Byrd? Nation can't have feeling until we have justice for those two people. And all these children, all these little kids and babies have been murdered this summer.
Black person to love America. That is a deep love for this country that has for far too long never been recognized. What we need in America's leadership that seeks to de-escalate tensions, to open lines of communications, to bring us together, to heal, to hope. As president, that's precisely what I will do. We paid off.
Kind of hard to communicate with someone when you're sitting down at a table trying to have dinner and this angry mob with speakerphones, whatever they're called, megaphones, come running up and shove all your food off the table and start blasting their megaphone in your ear, demanding that you say some felon child molester's name, some murderer's name. This guy murdered a baby, say his name. This guy rapes children. This guy put a gun to a pregnant black woman's belly and her unborn child and threatened to murder them both while he was robbing them. Say his name. Kind of hard to have open communication with people like that. What are you going to do about that, Biden?
High price for allowing the deep divisions in this country to impact on how we deal with the coronavirus. 210,000 Americans.
Well, also, it's kind of hard to have open conversation with people when they run up from behind you and hit you in the back of the head with a brick. Just because they didn't like the color of the hat you're wearing or a t-shirt you had on. Yeah, ain't no Republicans out doing shit like that. It's only Democrats doing shit like that. It's only your supporters doing shit like that, Biden. They're doing it in your name, Biden. In your name. They're out smashing people in the back of their head in your name, Biden, with bricks. Vote for Biden or I'll murder you, they say. You know who else? Who else has supporters that do that? Putin. Little Rocket Man. Some dude in China. Castro did.
Dead, and the number's climbing. It's estimated that nearly another 210,000 Americans could lose their lives by the end of the year. Enough.
Yeah, this virus is spreading like crazy. You'd think that people would avoid gathering in large crowds out in the streets all day long and all night long and stay home, but apparently the Democrat supporters of the country aren't too worried about this virus. They're all out gathering together in the streets every day, every night, in large crowds. So, your own supporters aren't worried, Biden. What do you have to say about that? Well, pretty sure we could go on all day, but we're already past the 15-minute mark here, so. Sorry about the anger heroes. Sorry about the cuss words heroes. Joe Smith's just tired of all these Democrat lies and attempt to overthrow this coup attempt by the Democrats trying to overthrow America, turn it into a communist dictatorship. That right there, that's the face of North Korea, of Cuba, of China, of Russia. You want to live in a dictatorship regime? There's your guy. There's your new Putin. There's your new little rocket man. There's your new Z, whatever his name is in China. There's your new little China man. Your Winnie the Pooh. There's your new little Winnie the Pooh China man. There's your new Vince William man. There's Castro's replacement. Right there. Or you want to live free and end the violence. Because Trump is out of the hospital and Trump is here to stay. Make America great again. Trump 2020. Joe Smith signing out.